Alright guys, let's get into it. Traditional vest versus a sling pack. So I've had a few buddies that I've recently introduced to the sport, and they have got so many questions for me, and it's awesome because they're motivated, they're excited about a new activity, a new sport, especially during this time when everyone's so bored. It's during the pandemic, if you couldn't guess. But yeah, so I wanted to make this video for people who are trying to make the decision on which to buy. There's a bunch of different options. The main ones are the hip packs, which I have no experience with. There's the traditional vests, which I owned. That was my first one, and then I have the sling pack as well. Fly fishing, like any other hobby, costs money to get into, definitely, but it doesn't have to cost a ton. I think that you can get into the sport at a relatively low cost if you do the research. I'll get into it and say that you should buy a traditional vest. I have a sling pack that I'll show you, just so you can have something to look at. It's nice and shiny, but you should buy a traditional vest because it pairs very well with a backpack. A backpack, you can fit whatever you want in there. You can fit clothes, extra clothes, a hat, stocking cap, gloves, hand warmers, sunscreen, bug spray, snacks, drinks, cold sandwiches. I get sick of eating non-perishables, beef jerky, Cliff bars. This is pretty much what I pack when I go fishing. But that can get old. If you're hiking a mile or two, bring a backpack. You don't want to walk back to your car ever, unless it's an absolute necessity. You want to have everything there. You don't want to waste the time to go back to your car. You're out there to fish. Bring a backpack. It is annoying to walk back to the bank every single time. However, if you're going to buy one thing, just buy that because it'll serve you in all types of different weather. Weather is a huge factor in this because you want to stay comfortable on the river. So if it's going to be cold in the morning, it's going to be hot in the middle of the day, and it's going to drop again at night, and you're fishing the whole day, probably shed some layers in the middle of the day and then reapply those layers later. You're not going to want to put them in your sling pack, because that's what I did, and it was way too heavy. So I'll show you my sling pack. This is the Patagonia front vest sling pack, and this thing's awesome. I got it as a gift for Father's Day for my wife, and I've been using the crap out of it. As you can see, this thing's all chewed up already. I've only had it for a couple months now. So yeah, it has a huge pocket right here, big pocket. You can put whatever you want in there, but it has one strap and it goes over my right shoulder. I'm right-handed, so it's on this shoulder. I'm casting, and I was definitely tired the first couple times I used it because I overloaded this pack with everything that I would have put in a backpack basically. And the second you add a water bottle to this thing just gets that much heavier. And so what I like to do is keep this relatively light. I like to just put some extra fishing stuff, so some extra tippet material, some weights, some beef jerky and ibuprofen, honestly, is what I pack. When the weather's going to be consistent, this is what I will bring. I'm going to wear the same outfit out the door that I'm going to wear all day long, basically. So summertime, typically, but I mean, if it's spring and it's going to be relatively the same weather, I'll probably wear this as well. If there's a chance of rain when it's cold, and then the sun's going to come out and it's going to warm up, those are two completely different outfits that I'm probably going to wear. So I'll probably bring a traditional vest and a backpack because I'll have that option to put whatever I want in there. And then also, I mentioned the long hikes. If you're hiking in a mile or two to get away from the crowds, a backpack fits over a traditional vest way better than it will fit over this. This will be annoying because it's just an extra bulge on your back, and you don't need it. And you're still going to be walking to the bank to grab your backpack every single time you move. So why not just have a traditional vest? It'll definitely serve you in all situations. Lots of experienced fishermen still wear one. That's the reason they're still around. They're great, and also proportionate. They distribute the weight proportionately on your shoulders. That's why I think a traditional vest is just gonna get you so much farther. You're gonna use that in way more situations. If you just had this, you're not gonna be as happy, I guess, with your decision. I would think it's gonna look great. It has the cool pattern and whatever brand you get, it'll be sweet and it'll be good in a lot of situations, but not all of them. And I think the traditional pack, the traditional vest will get you farther. All right, so that's my take on traditional vest versus sling packs. Hopefully I gave you some good information to go off of for your next purchase or buying it, or maybe you're just, you're in a YouTube hole, deep dark hole somewhere. But anyway, some parting words for the new angler is don't get sucked into the information vortex. It's deep, it's dark, and it's scary. Definitely, I experienced it and I hated it. I was just trying to learn the basics, and I just opened up all these articles, and I was just like deer in the headlights. It'll turn you off so fast, and you'll drop fly fishing like fourth period French. Get past the growing pains of getting the basics down, and then you can get into all the extra details. Call your local fly shops. I'm not just saying that. A huge shout out to Charles Shaden at the Evening Sun Fly Shop, because I've called him probably weekly for the first 2 months I was here, and he helped me so much just learning the rivers around here. He gave me step-by-step instructions on some spots on different rivers based on the time of year. He'd tell me to go here, here, and here. He really cares about the customer, and I know that there's other people like that out there. You just got to ask the question. Sometimes you walk into a fly shop, it's kind of intimidating. Just ask. It'll get easier when you do it more, but just ask the questions, and they'll give you information. And if they don't, then screw them. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe them your business. You just walked in. They're not going to answer your questions, then turn around, get out the door. Anyway, I think people withhold that information way too much. We're not giving away national secrets. Try to make their experience better by helping them out, and it'll help create some buy-in from them, and they'll hopefully care about the rivers and the streams, and they'll leave it in better shape than the way they came. So hope you enjoy this video, and those are my opinions. Do what you want with them, but I will see you next time, and good luck out there.